Rice and Notre Dame will meet for the fifth time this Saturday in South Bend, the latest chapter in a series that began during World War I. The Fighting Irish wrapped up their 1915 season with a road trip to the Lone Star State, opening with a win over Texas in Austin, and then 2 days later blasting the Owls 55-2 in a game held at West End Park near downtown Houston. In 1973, Notre Dame again made the trip south to play the Owls in Houston. The Fighting Irish were one of the top teams in the country and would go on to win the national title with a Sugar Bowl win over Alabama. They would face a Rice team that had turned to a young quarterback making his first career start named Tommy Kramer, who would one day blossom into a Hall of Fame quarterback. But on this day, the sophomore from San Antonio was held in check by a fearsome Irish defense led by future Hall of Famer Ross Browner, holding him to 79 yards through the air. Browner was not the only Hall of Famer on the Notre Dame sideline. Tight end Dave Casper, who 39 years later would join with Kramer as members of the Hall of Fame class of 2012, caught 3 passes for a game-high 52 yards. Notre Dame scored once in each quarter and went on to pile up 536 yards of total offense in a 28-0 win. 1 year later, Rice made its first trip to South Bend, fresh off a 10-10 tie with LSU, to take on the defending national champions. If the Irish expected a repeat of their 1973 experience, the feisty Owls had a surprise in store. Alan Pringle gave Rice an early 3-0 lead, and the Owls' opportunistic defense continued to frustrate the Irish, who would only muster a field goal just before the end of the half. In the second half, Rice's bid for an upset held fast through most of the second half, thanks to a standout effort by Rodney Norton, who would finish the day with 21 tackles. But the Irish would calm the fears of the home crowd by mounting a 20-play, 80-yard drive late in the fourth quarter to set up Wayne Bullock's 2-yard touchdown run with 3:08 left to go and give them a 10-3 win. The 10 points will be the fewest points scored by Notre Dame all season. The most recent meeting between the two teams came on an overcast November day in 1988 when Rocket Ismail would add to his legend with a pair of kickoff return touchdowns, while sophomore Owls linebacker Bill Stone would claim a piece in the NCAA record book. For the second straight game, the Owls opened the scoring as Quintus Roper led a sterling opening drive through the Irish that stalled after a drop pass in the end zone. Clint Parsons kicked the first of his 3 field goals to give Rice a 3-0 lead that would last only as long as it took Ismail to race 87 yards with the ensuing kickoff. Parsons would add 2 more field goals for Rice, and Stone would provide the final points in the last minute when he scooped up a blocked PAT and became the first Division I player to take advantage of the newly installed rule allowing those blocks to be returned.